Israel's continued brutal ethnic cleansing of Palestinian people from their homes and their land. Today we're seeing the latest stage of Israel's genocidal operation, this so-called Gideon's chariot. The plan is for the acceleration of ethnic cleansing and to take total military control of Gaza. This will result in even greater levels of slaughter. We know that part of this military occupation would involve Israel controlling aid distribution. This is in total contravention of international humanitarian law. We know that the UN humanitarian team of the occupied Palestinian territory have rightly refused to participate. Because look at what Israel is doing. It's using starvation as a weapon of war. It has been nearly 80 days since Israel blocked all aid to Gaza. This means Israel is deliberately starving Palestinian children to death. Now, what more proof do you need of Israel's genocidal intent? And what is the British government doing? It's doubling down on its military support for Israel. Shame! People may have heard Keir Starmer's speech commemorating VE Day, the 80th anniversary of the defeat of fascism in Europe. He shamefully used that speech to peddle war and nuclear weapons. That we should all be really proud of this. He said Britain is on the side against tyranny. What garbage is this? Britain is 100% on the side of tyranny. It's selling arms to Israel to slaughter and maim Palestinian children. It's selling parts for Israel's deadly nuclear submarines. It's protecting war criminals like Gideon Saar, wanted by the International Court of Justice. So we say shame on this Labour government. We will and we must continue to expose its complicity in Israel's war crimes. We will and we must continue to build the political pressure to end this slaughter. And we will and we must never stop struggling until Palestine is free. Free, free! Free, free! Solidarity!
Project. Israel's founding fathers didn't bother to hide it. In 1948, Israel's first Prime Minister, Ben-Gurion, helpfully clarified when he said, "We must do everything to ensure that the Palestinians never return, that the old will die and that the young will forget." In 1969, Golda Meir announced to the world that Palestinians don't exist. And by 1982, Michael B. took it to upper notch when he described Palestinians as two-legged beasts. And then by 1988, Yitzhak Shamir said that they were grasshoppers who had to be crushed. And yet Zionists today will have you believe that history started in October 2023. The reality is that the ideology of Zionism has always required the erasure of Palestinians, not just from the land, not just from history, but from memory and from humanity itself. From the very beginning, Zionism has been about the dispossession, the apartheid, and the extermination of Palestinians. Which is why the Nakba isn't a past event. It's a structure and an ongoing system. But today, I don't want to remember their words because they are not worth remembering. Today, I want us to remember Dr. Mahmoud Abu Najulia. He was a doctor in Al-Auda Hospital in Jabalia refugee camp. As the bombs rained in the hospital, he wrote on a whiteboard, "Whoever stays until the end, they will tell the story. We did what we could. Remember us." A month later, in November 23, Dr. Mahmoud was killed alongside his family. For every image that we see, for every video that brings the censorship of the mainstream media, there are hundreds upon thousands that we do not see. There are thousands of lives being stolen before they were fully lived. And that is why it is our sacred duty to honor and remember them. Because the Nakba is now. It is in Rafah, it is in Jabalia, it is in Beit Hanoun, it is in Shuja'iyya, it is in every refugee camp, every demolished home, every empty classroom, and every shattered dream. So as we stand here on the 77th anniversary of the ongoing Nakba, we do not stand in defeat. Because despite 77 years of colonization, of exile, imprisonment, and siege, the Zionist project has failed. The Zionist project has failed to erase Palestinians. The Zionist project has failed to make the world forget. And today, more than ever, we are closer to liberation. That is why we cannot stop until every prison cell holding a Palestinian child is emptied. We cannot stop until every checkpoint is dismantled, until every apartheid wall is torn down, until the siege of Gaza ends, and until Palestinians can live under clear skies and the sun and not bombs and missiles. We will not stop until the ethnic cleansing ends and the illegal settlements are dismantled, and until the right of return is fulfilled for every single Palestinian. When Dr. Mahmoud wrote, "We did what we could, remember us," we remember him today. We remember every single martyr today. Let it never be said that we stood by. Let it never be said that we forgot. This Nakba, we remind ourselves that the genocide is not the final word. The final word will be justice. The final word will be return. The final word will be freedom. Because when we chant, "I believe that we will win," it is because we believe with full conviction that we will see a liberated Palestine. We will see a liberated Gaza. We will see the liberated beaches of Akka. We will see the liberated mountains of Haifa and the liberated historic streets of Nablus. And we will see the holy city of Jerusalem liberated. Full liberation from the river to the sea. From the river to the sea. Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea. Palestine will be free. Thank you.
Friends, I want to thank you for coming. Today, we have marched 500,000 strong. We have marched to commemorate the Nakba not as a moment of collective trauma, enduring in memory but rooted in the past, but as an unbroken, ongoing catastrophe. And we have marched at a moment when the roots of that catastrophe, the Zionist project for the displacement and erasure of the Palestinian people, is now manifesting itself with unashamed brutality in an open project of genocide. A genocide whose tapestry, since Israel tore up the ceasefire, cut off all food, water and supplies, is woven with new details and new images of unsurpassed horror. Right now, 70,000 children, 70,000 children in Gaza, the majority aged between 1 month and 2 years, are being treated for acute malnutrition. Many of them have been blinded because of their lack of access to food. Now, in my home, on my wall, I have a picture of my children. My 2 daughters, then aged about 6 and 9, standing in Trafalgar Square, holding placards saying, "Stop starving the Palestinians." They had been with me on a protest against Israel's newly imposed blockade on Gaza, at a moment when it had been revealed that Israel was calculating exactly how many calories should be let in that would keep Palestinians malnourished but just about alive. A senior Israeli official infamously said, "We won't let them starve, we are going to put them on a diet." And now, in front of the whole world, Israel is prepared to use full starvation as a weapon of war. For the past 3 months, as one UN official put it, nothing has entered Gaza, only bombs. And this week, we heard a group of British lawyers, UK lawyers for Israel, whose patrons sit proudly in the House of Lords, issue a statement in which they declare that Israel's withholding of food may preserve the lives of Palestinians because so many of them, they said, are obese. And we know the breadth and depth of British complicity in the 77 years of Nakba, but those who sustain that complicity, who continue to support, arm, finance and provide diplomatic cover for Israel as it withholds food to the point of blinding and starving infants to death, are in no better moral place than the likes of UK lawyers for Israel, and history will judge them accordingly. Friends, how in the name of humanity have we arrived at a place where our government, in order to justify the continued shipment of F-35 parts to Israel, is sending its lawyers into court to argue that maintaining the confidence of a US president who currently proposes to remove all Palestinians for Gaza, to create a Riviera for Western elites, that is more important than upholding international law. How in the name of humanity have we arrived at a place where we have a health secretary, Wes Streeting, who is less energized by the need to oppose the destruction of Gaza's hospitals, the killing of its health professionals, including British citizens, than he is about issuing new measures to stop health professionals in Britain openly demonstrating their solidarity with an oppressed people and with their fellow medics in Gaza eternal shame upon him. So friends, we will continue to build our magnificent community of resistance. We will continue to call for a full arms embargo, for divestment by every public body. We will continue to target complicit companies like Barclays Bank, and we will continue to call for every supermarket and shop in the UK to stop selling Israeli goods. We salute the members of the cooperative who have voted overwhelmingly to remove Israeli goods from their shelves. And friends, we will continue our struggle knowing that the battle we are all engaged in is a fundamental battle for the world we want to inhabit and we want our children to grow up in. Is that a world where might is right, or will it be a world where rights belong to all of us, regardless of race, ethnicity, religion, or nationality? Let me end with this. I know you are weary. We are all weary. But we also know that we do not have the luxury of genocide fatigue because the Palestinian people do not have that choice. We must be. We must be. And we will be inspired by their endurance, even in the face of genocide. And after 77 years of Nakba, we know that the fabric of justification that has allowed the political establishment to normalize genocide is wearing thin and being torn apart at the seams. When even Tory MPs are openly saying we can no longer support Israel, and the former head of the Joint Intelligence Committee is calling, finally, for a full arms embargo on Israel. So our struggle for that better world continues to be founded on the hope that has been the cornerstone of 77 years and more of Palestinian resistance. A hope that every Palestinian passes to the next generation like the keys to their home. And so right now, I am joined on the stage by my two daughters, now in their 20s, who have already spent too much of their lives engaged in this struggle, but will continue with that struggle until Palestine is free. So like you, friends, they will not stop marching, will not stop protesting, campaigning and boycotting until the day of liberation arrives, until Israel's system of apartheid is ground into the dust of history, until all of the Palestinian people scattered across the globe, like every member of my family, are free to return and on every inch of our historic homeland are living in freedom. Veins like roots of olive trees, we will return. That is not a threat, not a wish, a hope or a dream, but a promise. From the river to the sea,
Palestine will be free.
From the river to the sea,
Palestine will be free.
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
Thank you.